get one more video pertaining to Assassin's Creed. I wanted to give my personal top 5 AC characters of all the franchises. You might hear a character in there that you don't like. You might hear somebody that you wish would be in there, but it's just my personal 5. Number 1, Ezio. Let's get that out the way. He is the best AC character of all the series, DLC, side, all that. He's the best character. He has the best story, you know. He had to watch his family get murdered. Then he took revenge. First, let's talk about how he didn't even know about the assassins thing. His dad had to lay it on him late when he went to jail. When you had to go climb up that building to go see your dad, he told you to go back to the house. You go see the suit and everything. Ezio don't know what the hell this is. You know, he has no clue. So, when he finally gets the chance, it's too late. Family's murdered. After his dad tell him to go send a letter or whatever, once that letter came back, family gets betrayed. Revenge. Then we all know what Ezio does. He gets revenge against the people. And you see him standing in the middle of that church or whatever. You kill that first person. He says, I'm here. I'm Ezio Auditore. My family got killed, such and such. And he had to learn the assassin's way really from his Uncle Mario. When you have to go to the villa, you learn really everything from him. Then he shows you the codec pages. You have to go get the codec pages. It's like 30 of them. That explains some things. Then you see the armor at the downstairs. I think that's Altair's. So you not only you get his story, you get Altair's story engraved in that, and I'm gonna get to him too. And you don't get Ezio's story in one game. You get it in a whole trilogy. You get it in 2. You get it in Brotherhood, and then you get it in Revelations. And they were all good games. None of them were bad. None of them. Even the third one, because a lot of people hated the Revelations, but it was a great game. As a send-off, hey, great game. But yes, he's my number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna say Bayek. You can't say Bayek. Bayek can't, me personally, this character, you can't have him not in your top 5. Because he's basically created the assassins. He's one of the founders of the assassins, and he created the hidden ones. If you go to that game, at the end of the game, him and his wife goes their separate ways. He basically has to lose his wife alive, separate ways. And then once she looks into the sand, the beach, you see the logo, the little Assassins logo, and here we are, Assassins. So, and you gotta understand the voice acting, the rage and the grief, it all felt real. Like when you go watch the cinematic parts of the game, or whenever the dramatic points, you can feel the rage and the grief with him. Voice acting, you can't do that with a lot of games and story, but you can do it with him. Origins was a good game, but if I'm being honest, it's not better than Odyssey. Like, I just felt like Odyssey was a more complete game to me. Character wise though, Bayek was a better character than Alexios. I will say that. What else can I say about Bayek? That's pretty much it. You basically can't say it. For you to speak Assassins, you gotta put him in that conversation too. He created the hidden ones, and he's one of the founders, basically. Number 3, Edward Kenway. As much as I don't like, I'm not gonna say I just hate Black Flag, like there's nothing I don't like about it. But even though it's one of my least favorites of the series, I feel like character-wise is one of the best. Development-wise is one of the best in the series. You gotta think, he was just egotistical, you know. All he cared about was the money. He didn't care about no assassin shit. He didn't care about none of that. He just wanted the treasures. That's it. This game is mostly it's just about piracy. That's all it is. The golden age of piracy. And once he found he can use that assassin order as leverage as for his own goodwill, then he accepted it. Yes, later down the road, he restored himself and accepted the assassin's order, and he actually was willing to become that. Because at first he didn't care about that. He just only cared about the money. That's it. And like I said, he only cared about the treasures. Then later on, he switched that up. And I want to say he's related to Connor in a way, or something like that. I think they addressed that. It's just not, that game is just not, it has too many naval missions for me, you know? That's what I was saying in the last video. I just feel like Rogue is better than Black Flag. It just expands more, I feel like. But number 3 is him. Number 4, this is where I might get some controversy too. Connor. He was the most overhated, I feel like. Like, you gotta understand where he came from. Like, his family was terminated by Charles Lee and them. He had, as a kid, his whole village burned, everything, all of it gone. So his whole life is built on rage and revenge and anger, just killing, just murdering. So I mean, he grew up just knowing that. So it wasn't until Achilles, by the way, that's the guy I was thinking about when I was mentioning my top 5 games. I couldn't remember the black guy's name, the assassin. His name is Achilles. It wasn't until Achilles came and helped him change his ways. Even throughout the game, Connor was getting betrayed. He was getting fucked over. But at the end of the day, he was willing to put that aside and still try to be helpful. Still try to give a fuck, basically. I feel like one of the reasons why he's hated, because he wasn't a charming assassin. Like, he wasn't an assassin trying to get the women, you know, trying to be, you know, just trying to be charming, just trying to be outgoing and stuff. This man had witnessed death since a child, so that's all he knows, just killing. And his kills are brutal. Like, I love using Tomahawk in that game. Like, I use nothing else. Like, that game, when it comes to combat, it's up there. Probably 2 or 3 combat-wise, because I got Syndicate number 1 combat-wise. But storytelling, I feel like they did good. I feel like he was just overlooked, you know. I wouldn't say overrated, as I say, but he was just overlooked, you know. He was misunderstood. So he's my number 4. Number 5, Altair. This is another one. You can't mention assassins without him, you know. And he started off egotistical. He think he knew everything. Then what happened? He failed that mission, and then he was stripped from everything. You got to start from 1. You know, you think you know everything? Okay, let's start you from the bottom again. So he had to learn his way again and come all the way back to the top. That's when he gets betrayed by his master. And you got to kill him at the end. By the way, that's one of the easiest boss matches of the games. If you know how to beat him, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know. But I love how his story is connected with Ezio too. Like, you can't, like I said, you can't talk about the Assassin's Order without talking about Altair. Then all the trials and tribulations he went to, all the shit he fucked up, it turned into wisdom when he got older. Because if you remember in Revelations, he was old, like, could barely even walk. And, excuse me, I had something in my mouth. White piece of hair. He tells the young assassins, like, there's a lot of shit I did as an assassin I don't agree with, and if it wasn't for me basically doing that, things would probably be different. Go play the game. You understand what I'm talking about? And I feel like that Apple of Eden, yes, he was protecting people from that Apple of Eden, but at the same time, I feel like he was using it for his own goodwill, if you know what I mean. Like, he made sure the Apple of Eden was in nobody's hands. But there were certain points in the game where, could he even be trusted with the Apple of Eden? But granted, at the end, He stayed in his chamber, away from everybody, sat down, and died from natural causes. And that's when you see Ezio in Revelations go see him sitting in the chair, and he take the apple eaten from him. And that's, you know. But yes, when it comes to assassins, like the Assassin's Creed games, Ezio, Bayek, Altair, definitely them top three. You cannot mention Assassin's Creed games without them top three. You don't even have Assassin's Creed games without them. If we being real, we don't have Assassin's Creed without them three. Everybody else, yeah, I mean, maybe Edward too, maybe Edward. But you know, you can't. Them top three, you can't. But yeah, Ezio, Bayek, Edward, Connor, and Altair. Them are the best 5 characters of all the franchises. Let me know what you think. You know, I want to hear if it's somebody that I didn't name and you think should be in there, or your opinion. Give me a comment. You know, tell me what you think. But yeah, them are my top 5. I plan on making another video in the next day, or maybe even tonight. It won't be pertaining to Assassin's Creed unless I get a comment or something saying, hey, you should talk about this. Then I would do that. But until then, I'm gonna step away from this because I don't want my whole channel just talking about Assassin's Creed. Like, I could talk about it, but I don't want it to drain, you know. There's other franchises I would like to talk about too, and people would probably be interested to hear. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.